The prosecutor is saying no person is above the law, no person is completely immune from the criminal justice system, versus the Trump team saying that's not true if you are president.
Former President Trump back in a courtroom today, and at stake in this landmark case is whether he can be prosecuted for alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Mr. Trump's team claiming he has absolute immunity from the special counsel's criminal indictment. Welcome, everyone, to The Four this afternoon. I'm Alex Sapp.
And I'm Heather Holmes. The decision could have major impacts on the former president's legal challenges and, of course, his bid for the White House. We want to bring in now our political reporter, Greg Lee. And, Greg, Trump really taking this in, going to this hearing in person today.
Yeah, he did not have to be in the courtroom today, but he chose to do so, which underscores the importance of this potential ruling. Once again, we are in uncharted territory as this appeals court weighs the bounds of presidential immunity as it relates to criminal prosecution. Former President Donald Trump sat before a federal appeals court at question his claim of immunity from criminal charges related to his attempt to overturn the 2020 election.
And I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple. And if you don't, as an example, if this case were lost on immunity and I did nothing wrong.
The former president was not required to be in court, but left the campaign trail to do so. Trump's team arguing before the three-judge panel that he should be immune because he was working in his official capacity as president, looking for voter fraud.
To authorize the prosecution of a president for his official acts would open a Pandora's box from which this nation may never recover.
I think it's paradoxical to say that his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed allows him to violate criminal laws.
A lower court rejected Trump's lawyer's argument leading to the appeal in a landmark case the courts never had to answer.
I heard the judges expressing deep skepticism about a number of different legal thresholds that you'd have to cross to get to that place.
The judges pressed the former president's team to defend the immunity argument, including a series of hypotheticals, like what if the president ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? The lawyer said the president would be immune until after they were impeached and convicted.
What kind of world are we living in if, as I understood my friend on the other side to say here, a president orders his SEAL team to assassinate a political rival and resigns, for example, before an impeachment? Not a criminal act.
Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's team latched onto the claim, the core of their argument, no one is above the law, not even the president. The three judges now have the case, and experts believe it could soon be headed to the Supreme Court.
If they hand Trump a loss in this case, Trump could appeal up to the Supreme Court, but they don't need to take the case. If they don't take the case, then the ruling of the D.C. Circuit stands.
Now, a lot is at stake, and the timing is key here. The trial is currently scheduled to begin in the lower court on March 4th, right in the middle of the primary calendar. Depending on how this court rules and how long it takes, then further appeals, we could most certainly see a delay in the start of that trial.
And, Greg, just to reiterate, the former president made the choice to be in the courtroom earlier today. How is Trump and his team trying to capitalize on today's appearance?
And they're using it in ways that we've seen them use other prosecutions and other trials and other courtroom appearances that he has made. They are fundraising off of it. They sent an email last night saying he's being pulled off the trail to go to court, asking for people to donate, sort of painting himself as a political victim here. And he's using that to gain support, and it's worked in the past, so they're sticking to that playbook.
Yeah, to get fundraising and also more publicity. Back to that issue, though, of timing, Greg. I mean, we are just a week away from people voting in the primary. It seems as though prosecutors really want to get this trial going.
Yeah, 6 days from the Iowa caucuses, and President Trump leads that poll by large margins. Nikki Haley closing the gap in New Hampshire in the second bit of voting there. But Jack Smith had asked the Supreme Court to rule quickly on the issue of immunity. They kicked it back down to the federal appeals court, which has led us to where we are. Trump's team, on the other hand, wanted to see this push back to 2026 after the election. Prosecutors would really like to see this happen before November.
Yeah, the timing on these decisions is critical here as we head toward the election. Greg Lee, we appreciate that. Thank you.